What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Race. It feels like the whole world is talking about Wednesday. It's been over 2 months since the first season was released, and yet every piece of information related to the show keeps the whole attention of the public. The Addams Family was an extremely popular franchise even before the TV series was released. But this just broke every possible record. Season 2 was never in question, and you can sense that even from the first scene with Jenna Ortega. But things could have been much different if a different actor took the roles. So let's see how the show's cast has been moving since the beginning. Can you believe that Jenna Ortega wasn't even on the list at all? Many young actresses saw Wednesday as a big opportunity. The Netflix reboot TV show is poised for success, and renowned gothic fantasy director Burton taking the helm, and of course, let's not forget veterans of the Addams Family film on board as executive producers. All this was expected. Wednesday is such an iconic character, a young girl obsessed with death. Her hobbies include running deadly experiments, raising pet spiders, and torturing her younger brother Pugsley. Before the Netflix show was released, the only person you could relate to Wednesday was Christina Ricci. But there was a list of young actresses, and each of them could have met the challenge of playing the notorious Wednesday Addams.
Born on Friday the 13th.
Her name comes from a line from my favorite nursery rhyme.
The first on that list is Isla Johnston, the 14-year-old actress famous for her role as young Beth Harmon in Netflix's The Queen's Gambit. She didn't speak a lot, but she captivated audiences with her mere presence. Johnston appeared as the 9-year-old Beth as she finds refuge in a game of logic while she's still able to show deep emotions as the character struggles with her mother's death. In fact, I could really see some similarities between Beth and Wednesday Addams. McKenna Grace is the second name on the Wednesday Addams list. With her amazing performance playing the young Tanya Harding, she proved there is no role too complicated for her. But that's not everything. Soon after that success, the young actress broke into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Carol Danvers. Well, a young version of Carol Danvers in Captain Marvel. Grace could have brought both an adolescent charm and incredible maturity to Wednesday with her wide range. Acting out to show her independence, Wednesday is the classic rebellious teen in some ways.
I should have known you were behind this. What part of no party under the penalty of death do you not understand?
We're moving on. Remember the little girl in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Okay, let's put it this way. Do you remember the cast members of this movie? Exactly. That was the best of Hollywood, and Julia Butters amazed us with her role as Trudy Fraser. In one word, she is precocious. Her adult-like and straightforward behavior would have been perfect for Wednesday Addams. Genuinely speaking, any of these girls would have been great as Wednesday Addams. But at this point right now, I can't really imagine anyone else other than Jenna Ortega. The fact that her career is exploding after the first season was released is just another fact that the creators made a great decision. In the meantime, while we are speaking about who might have taken the place of Wednesday, Jenna Ortega smashed that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. No, really, she got into another famous franchise. Scream 6 is on the horizon, and she would take an important part of the store.
At least I'm not an elitist snob.
Okay, now that we're done talking about the lead character, let's pay some attention to the other important cast members. You probably guessed it, we're going to talk about Morticia and Gomez Addams. I can't really forget one comment that I read before the show was released. It goes like this: absolutely not sold on the casting for Morticia and Gomez though. Didn't mind it at all when I first watched the trailer, but felt like they had zero chemistry on the show. There was a huge controversy back then, and nobody could put the blame on the fans. Who else would fit the bill for one of pop culture's madly in love couples if the final choices weren't up to snuff for audiences? Who else was in the game to take these roles? Exactly, Oscar Isaac and Eva Green. It was kinda understandable that the fans would have them on their mind first, taking into mind their connection with the characters in the animated version. Just a month before we heard an official statement about the cast, there was a rumor that the famous this couple will be played by Johnny Depp and Eva Green. Considering that this was the time when Depp had more important issues to deal with, this was something that didn't last long, but we must admit that the post on social media looked so intriguing. But ever since the show hit the screens, there has been a divisive response to Guzmán's place in the cast, following Raúl Julia in the 1990s movie and John Astin in the 1960s sitcom. Luis Guzmán is the third actor to tackle a major studio's live-action portrayal of this character. And you know what? Luis Guzmán proved to be a perfect Gomez despite a surface difference. Casting Guzmán for this role was a great way to avoid incessant comparisons to past live-action adaptations. The actor proved the doubters wrong in every possible aspect. On the other hand, the mother of Wednesday and Pugsley and the gothic wife of Gomez Addams was played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. It seems like many had an issue with her, just as they had with Guzmán. Well, mostly because, as they wanted to say, the lack of chemistry between both of them. But I think that Catherine was an incredible Morticia Addams.
So tell us everything.
Since you've abandoned me here, I've been hunted, haunted.
As I mentioned before, there were talks between the director and Eva Green for this role. Tim Burton and Green have smashed that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. No, really, in all seriousness now, they worked together in the past. Therefore, Green has often been one that the internet has speculated about. And it's true, it looks like she has an Addams Family-like vibe. There is one more actress that could have been Morticia, and that is Christina Ricci. She is a popular fan choice. She has been a fan demand for much longer than Tim Burton's current project. Green has been a fan cast as Morticia for years, and there are bound to be a lot of questions about why Ricci isn't in the role. And one more thing before we go, there is another suggestion about the lead character, Emma Myers as Wednesday. You'd ask where this comes from. Well, on her talk show debut on Jimmy Fallon's show, she decided to speak a bit more about the Netflix series and the Addams Family franchise in general. I had watched the 90s movies growing up, but I didn't. It was like a TV show and there's a comic and everything. So when I got the role of Enid Sinclair, I dove into it and I loved it, said the actress. When asked if she could play Wednesday, she said, "Jenna did such a flawless job that if I even tried it would just be a disgrace." But she didn't say no.
Job with Wednesday that if I even tried, it would just be a disgrace. Like,
no, you're talking.
Anyway, it is as it is. Wednesday is the second watched show in the history of Netflix, which proves that everything was perfect, including the cast. Now we can all agree with that, right? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.